So I drew a card today from my Seeds of Light Oracle. I was musing on a theme, and that theme was worthiness. It's been coming up in a lot of sessions. Of course, we're seeing it all around. I'm sure you might be feeling the pressure of it. And the card that came up was this card, which I had titled Lotus Emanations, and it's card 24 in the deck. It's got the Kuan Yin energy, but it's all about self-love. It's about really, they say the lotus has to grow through the mud, so if you can think of yourself and your life and where you're at as it's all part of the lotus, the roots, every part of the lotus, the perfume, sure, it's beautiful, but there's no perfume without those roots in the mud. So this is really a card for the heart and the higher heart centers, and just would be placing it here, and that's the intention, to almost feel that blossoming of your own worthiness. And as humans, we all struggle with that. It's probably one of the factors that really is a common denominator with us all. And yet when you're feeling unworthy, you probably feel the most alone. It's so funny because there'll be those times when you're talking, and obviously in my sessions, but also with some of my friends and people I'm talking to at the moment, and I realize somebody will just say something and you realize we all have these similar feelings, so the things that make us different, sure, they can be huge, but underneath it all, we often will be our own worst critic, let's face it. So it's about softening your self-talk. And the other thing with worthiness too is, especially in the modern Western world, there's lots of opportunities. And sometimes we might be given perhaps work opportunities or different reasons and things to jump on board with some sort of exciting thing. And if you feel that something might come up for you where you actually feel, especially if it's an opportunity for work or for your business or something to do with that, for your self-expression, and something in you says, oh, I actually feel like unworthy, I actually feel like that's not for me, and I'm a bit worried about how I would perform, how I would be able to offer it. So of course that's something that you can look at as maybe needing to overcome, because you might be trying to hide your light under a bushel. But I think that there's a fine line between that, because I think that sometimes it's a little bit like when you get a little spark of fear. Sometimes the fear is an opportunity for you to stop and take stock, and not so much to believe fearful stories and give up or stop, but sometimes it is about not pushing the fear, but taking it as a sign, as a flag, if you like, to stop and think. So sometimes those little gut feelings where you might think, oh, I don't know if I'm capable of actually taking that opportunity, even though it seems shiny. I just want you to sort of think about, maybe there's a possibility that it's a little bit of a message from your gut, your higher guidance, of not that you're not worthy, but that it's not the shiny object for you. It might sound amazing, but there might be that little part of you that says, it's not actually about taking a leap or a risk. It's about saying, I don't feel that that's right for me, and it could potentially be something that pulls me off my path. And at the moment, we're really all about sort of focusing as much as we can, gentling down and trying to, under all the storms of all the information, everything, whether it's media, whether it's actual universal energy, there's a lot of energy there. And I've been getting the guidance, I know a lot of people have too, that August is a good month, if you can, for gentling. And there's a lot of rest opportunity. I'm calling them rest pockets, when you can't just rest for days. Really being gentle with yourself, with your system, and trying to reframe some of those painful moments and painful thoughts within. It's great to have that questing mind that says, some people don't even question, so saying, should I be pushing myself? Am I just sitting back and doubting my abilities? Think about that, but also be aware it could be a flag of your gut instinct saying, that's not for me, no matter how beautiful it sounds, and no matter how much people say, yes, that's fine, jump in. You need to be your own oracle, really, in a way, and really feel into what's right for you. So it just takes time and experimentation, but the main thing is the gentleness. If you can just be kind to yourself, and whatever decision you make sure that you're making it being as kind to yourself as you can, and try not to feel that you're not good enough, that maybe it's just not for you. It might be for 5 other people, but not for you. So things can be very specific to us when we're on our spiritual path. Like not everything is for us, but the things that are for you, that light you up, they will keep coming back in some form or another, or an offer. But I have just been speaking to some people recently and in some sessions, and I realized worthiness is a big thing, and I wanted to talk about that because I know we will all have it, and just say to you, be kind. If you think you've made a mistake, just be kind at the moment, especially just in this month, in this pocket. Don't be beating yourself up and going back into all the past and the this and the that. Just take a breath and just keep gently, softly moving forward. So just sending you all that light then, that lotus energy, if you can remember, within our challenges, the challenges and the mud and the difficulty, if we can stick with it and be kind and work on ourselves and just take each step that we need to and just come back to base when we can almost polish like these muddy, these painful gifts, and we can find a way to polish them into strengths and really helping us to be, you know, the unique soul light that we are. So gentleness, self-love. Of course, the mantra for Kuan Yin is Om Mani Padme Hum, hail to the jewel in the lotus flower. So if you feel a sign of Kuan Yin, if you just feel any lovely energy, because we all connect with divine beings in different ways. But sending you blessings from Kuan Yin, blessings of the heart. May you gentle yourself, and yeah, just take a moment to think about your self-talk. Like sometimes it's, is it not just warning you, is it supporting you in questioning, you know, what's the next best step? So there's a little tip from my heart to yours. Okay, namaste.